Michael Jackson told y'all niggas about this publishing game, but you don't fucking listen.
In a world of glitz and glam, flashing lights and screaming fans, most people are unaware of the war that rages behind the scenes. And that war includes your favorite artist and your favorite songs. This is The Dark Side of Songwriting. Hosted by Nayim Edwards.
Welcome to The Dark Side of Songwriting. My name is Nayim Edwards and I am your host. Today, let's talk about Future and this whole publishing fiasco. So I got a chance to talk to Brad Mays briefly. Shout out to Brad Mays. And he was saying, people were saying, he was going to sell his publishing for the 60 to 75 million and flip it. Brad had mentioned child support. I saw a couple other people saying, Future went broke or whatever. But the thing is, people don't know anything about fucking publishing. So what people are speculating with this is 617 songs from like 2004 to 2020, I believe. $60 to $70 million he's selling his publishing. I've seen it being mentioned, the situation with Rocco from before. People asking how much of that is Rocco gonna get. I did my research and I did my due diligence. And one, I found out that he does not even own all of his publishing. Like he said, he went and bought back after his deal or whatever. He only owns partial, which is not an uncommon thing and it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's why the number is so low for how much he sold back, because he's only selling back his portion of the publishing. I actually have all the publishers, all the information. I just chose not to put it on the screen. I might put a link in the description, but I didn't put it up here because it had actual people's names, companies' names, addresses, like physical addresses, phone numbers, and emails. So that's just not really a safe thing to do. The problem with this situation is, one, your publishing, there is no, I just want to address a couple of little things. I'm not going to talk about the child support thing. That's not really important to this video. I mean, it could be if we're talking about a nigga not having no money to afford his lifestyle, or the feds doing a sweep, or a nigga making a back deal. I don't do conspiracy or nothing like that. But this first thing with niggas is, I'm going to sell my publishing and I'm going to flip it into something else. That's not realistic. It could be realistic, but let's really be for real about what publishing and master recordings is. When you own your intellectual property, when you own piece of intellectual property, when you own anything that is intellectual property, your book, your music, whatever the fuck, documents, journals, magazines, especially with music, because I'm going to speak only to music and anything that continues to generate income. My thing is, no, for example, Mask Off is not generating the same amount of income as it was when it first came out, and you only own piece of that, and you only, whatever, you only own your share of whatever that is. However, your song goes to make money, your song peaks at a point with making money, then it comes down, and then it kind of levels out, because when it's leveling out, that's how much money it's gonna make. Your shit never really dries up, especially when we talk about hit songs. The money don't stop coming. Mask Off might generate $100,000 a month just because of how much it's a classic song, or it might not be classic to people, but it's a hit song. You know what I'm saying? Codeine Crazy might generate $200,000 a month. You might actually only get 20% of that because of how your publishing situation is. And that's opposed to when it first came out, it was making $3 million a week or some shit like that. But that's when it was at its peak. Now it's leveled off to $20,000 a month. What is that? 5, 10, 15, $5,000 a week. You might have to be okay with getting your $1,000 a week from that one particular song. That's why it's important to have a whole bunch of intellectual property, a whole bunch of songs, because altogether, you know, $1,000 617 times is a lot of money per week. But, you know, niggas can't explain that to you because they don't know shit about it. You know, why would you sell if you are guaranteed to get this much money? Because my thing is, it's never just stationary. A song could go up, a song can plummet. It happens to everybody with every song. Songs don't make the same amount of money every week, no matter what it is, no matter how hot it is. Even if it's a hit, it could go up, it could drop. You know what I'm saying? Why would you sell your fucking catalog for whatever to get this so I can make a flip? This isn't, niggas is getting their business insight from the timeline. Niggas is not doing no real research on how this shit work. That is money that is passive income. That is money that is gonna be there and it's gonna come regardless. Niggas can always license it out, get his portion of whatever, as long as everybody agree to the license. Why wouldn't they agree? Free money, you're gonna pay me to play my song on your shit? All good. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get out of here, but like, that's one thing. Ain't no flipping. Like, that doesn't even make fucking sense. It makes no sense at all. But a nigga could do that or whatever. A nigga could feel like it's not, because let's not let this be missed. If there's 60 to 70 that they offering you for your portion, they're making, whoever owns the rest of it, they're making bank and they're keeping theirs. They could have bought it from him so they can have 100% control over getting the rest of that money. He might have felt like, because like, I don't take him as no dummy, but somebody like that who is willing to sell their music like that is not really that bright as far as business go. You might be like, okay, I'm going to take this and invest in something else and do something else. But the other people playing the long game, they know that music is going to be good forever. You not no trying to make it as artists. You are established. You know what I'm saying? That's what people are getting all confused about. Oh, he's a legend and he's this and he's that. It has nothing to do with it. Like, it has everything to do with it, but it has nothing to do with it. He's not seeing the value in what he has in his hand. You know, he might not ever get the rest of them other people portion back, but he will, you know, he would be able to just have his part. The other part, what was the other part? I understand they're not doing the child support thing. A nigga going broke. Whatever, like, a nigga could be going broke, a nigga could just not want to be bothered with it, because you gotta still pay taxes on it, or you gotta still do whatever. But the main point was of me speaking about this is the shit that people are saying, it doesn't even make sense, and it doesn't work that way. This isn't a good thing. This is how we always get tricked out of our shit. I don't give a fuck if my song makes $1 a month. I'm not selling my music. I'm not selling the properties I fucking own. This isn't your intellectual property. It's not like real estate. It's real estate, but it's educational, intellectual real estate, virtual real estate. Except it's not limited when it's like, there's not a limit on how much you can have. Opposed to real estate, there's only so much land you can buy. There's only so much whatever you can buy. There's only so much whatever. With this, you can make 100 songs a year for the rest of your life, and all of that shit will be valuable as long as you have value and people see value in that. People still play Beethoven. Go to Spotify and look up and see how much, like how many streams Beethoven has. People still listen to Chuck Berry. People still listen to James Brown. People still listen to Tupac. People still listen to Aretha Franklin. People still listen to Sam Cooke. People who own, not Tupac own it, but like Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin, James Brown. James Brown is the #1 sampled artist of all times. The #1 sampled artist in hip hop, absolutely, but the #1 sampled artist of all time. That estate makes money. If we're talking about flipping something and having something for your kids and niggas going whatever, you think people wouldn't sample Future if they allowed it? Why not? You know what I'm saying? This is what's so dark to me, is that we don't find value in what we have. I'd rather have, if you're in that situation, because I'm not giving my shit away at all. But if you feel like we have stuff that is valuable. If somebody come in with a big enough number and can just take it from us, and then it goes off and be more valuable. You know what I'm saying? If it was really about your kids and really about the child support, you know how crazy your shit's gonna go when you die. Why wouldn't you want he's not really at risk of being murdered, but when you get old and gray and you die, you know, they're gonna talk about you and they're gonna go back and you've had multiple hits. But it's the same with a lot of these motherfuckers. They don't own all of it. We get out here, I'm selling my masters. You're selling your part. You're not selling the whole thing, because if you own the whole thing, you wouldn't be no need to try to get rid of, you know what I'm saying? So, this is the dark side of songwriting. I got to go. My name is Nayim and I will holler at you.